know, it doesn't share the same aesthetic as it does globally, I think, but in terms of its meaning and its power, I think it really is a wonderful gauge of the potential of street art to celebrate life, to celebrate hope and peace and optimism. A lot of the more developed street art work in the country would be coming from Art Timoris, the youth art school. But then, you know, anyone is practicing still. So a lot of the artists in the country who do the work are just youth. They may be bored, they may be unemployed.
His name Ino, he can paint. From Art Timoris.
15 to 38 years old is kind of the definition of youth, and this represents, I believe, in excess of 60% of the population. So finding engaging ways of coordinating the youth is a hugely important thing, and with that breadth, it's a very difficult thing as well. There's also been a struggle for them to step out of the shadows of their forefathers. The resistance in East Timor is revered. The old leaders of the resistance are revered and still are a hallmark of day-to-day life in East Timor. And so you have this youth trying to step away from that, I think, and create their own now. In 2006 there was a political and social upheaval in the country, a crisis many people refer to it as. The expectations that went with independence and went with this idea of freedom were kind of, I guess, not met by the Timorese themselves. And the walls became a gauge of that. I know the guys from Art Timoris would have great kind of trepidation when they were painting. You know, they could be likely to be stoned. Well, rama ambongs were used at that time. Rama ambong, sorry, is a long piece of wire that's used as a slingshot. Counter to that, I think today that's moving on in a very positive direction, and counter to that kind of representation of gangs is a very proud youth who paint across the country and express themselves peacefully with paint and walls. So yeah, it's a very dynamic and a very shifting space, and I think the next 10 years will be fascinating to see how their energy is harnessed.
And now it seems as if we're used to the shagri. We made our beds and now we hate where these beds be. Took nothing at all to part this Red Sea. I'm a shackled child, singing the good song of freedom. They've got no pride, they interrupt our breathing.